What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast tonight. Tonight we are joined by special guest, Audioholic extraordinary, Gene Delasella of Audioholics. What's
Live
up,
long and
Gene?
prosper, my friends.
What's on tonight's agenda? Let's talk
Well,
about the big
Shane,
news.
I want to clear the air about something for a minute. I think what you're doing with this whole spare change channel, I think it's false advertisement, and I'm going to call you out on it. This
Yeah.
is no spare change anymore, my friend. This is excessive change. You're out of control, Mr. Trinoff, Mr. AudioQuest battery powered cable, B&W speakers. I mean, you are the Mac Daddy now on YouTube when it comes to home theater. Who could compete with you?
I think you're stepping up with your Storm Audio Mark II processor.
That looks like a nice piece, man. I can't wait to dig into that.
Yeah, it looks nice. I can't wait to get mine too.
So one thing we're not going to have a problem with on um, our Trinovs or our Storm audio processors is what we're going to talk about now because neither of these products are HDMI 2.1 yet.
Mm-hmm.
There's only a handful of products that are HDMI 2.1. As you know, we did a virtual press event for Denon a couple of months ago when they announced the new X series that are all HDMI 2.1. The Marantz SR8015 and all the new receivers are HDMI 2.1. Yamaha's new RX V6A is HDMI 2.1, but they all have a common problem now that we found out about on Friday because they all use the same Panasonic HDMI chipset. So I found out about this Friday afternoon. People were contacting me on our YouTube channel saying, "Hey, did you check out this German audio website that's reporting this bug?" And it's very specific. It's when you're doing resolutions that are like 4K 120 hertz or 8K 60 hertz. Now, Shane, you and I both
Mm-hmm.
know this is nothing that we're ever going to see when it comes to home theater, like in
Yep.
terms of HD Blu-ray or 4K Blu-ray or whatever the Ultra HD Blu-ray, the next generation. We're never going to see this kind of resolution, at least in the foreseeable future.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess this is something that impacts serious gamers, like with the next generation Xbox or even the latest NVIDIA cards, which are
Yeah.
newer than the Xbox. I mean, these just came out weeks ago.
Yep. Yeah, the NVIDIA 30 series there, the 3080, 3090, like the high end, really expensive cards there. And like you're saying, I guess there's a Panasonic bug. And I'm hearing that it's not going to be firmware upgrade fixable.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it was amazing how quickly when I called up Sound United and they didn't deny anything. I mean, this is not a problem with the manufacturers. This is not a receiver company problem. It's not their fault. It's the actual chipset that they employed into these new products. They were quick at telling me, yeah, this is a verifiable problem. We verified what the German audio website found, and we are going to have an official response. They sent it to me first, which I put in this article. So I guess what we're trying to figure out now is what's the workaround? What is Sound United? What is Yamaha going to do? They put their responses here. Basically, Sound United is saying if you have an 8K source or you have a source that's 4K 120, like an Xbox Generation X, then you want to use the eARC. You want to plug it directly into your TV, not into the receiver, and then run the HDMI from the TV to the receiver and pass the audio to it. And that's really what HDMI 2.1 is supposed to be all about. It's supposed to be about eARC being lossless audio. So you could do Atmos over True HD or DTSX lossless. But then I'm hearing from comments on the forums and stuff that the newest LG TVs,
Hmm.
even though they have eARC, they're only passing two channel over eARC through PCM. So I'm not sure if that's all fleshed out. And I guess the bottom line is we are rushing too fast with some of this technology. I
Mm-hmm.
just think it's like we're barely doing 4K now. I mean, let's be honest with you. 4K streaming, and I love Amazon, I love Netflix. It's still not up to the Ultra HD Blu-ray standards in terms of compressive artifacts and audio quality. I mean, we're still not up to optical disc through 4K streaming. So how the hell are we going to be up to that in 8K?
I don't know, man. We're just like jumping really quick just to hit like high spec numbers. I feel, and everybody's like jumping on the bandwagon. And I don't know about this. Listen, this is a little excerpt from a Forbes article here. The cause of the problem is alleged is a known bug in the Panasonic solution HDMI chips the AVRs use. The bug apparently affects the way HDMI 2.1's fixed rate link FRL feature works, and unfortunately, early investigations suggest that the problem cannot be fixed by mere firmware update. So, if this is true, anybody buying a Denon Marantz, Yamaha, possibly Onkyo Pioneer receiver this year probably should skip this year.
Well, I don't know if I would go that far, Shane, honestly, because how many people are using their HDMI to this capability? And I'd hate to have people lose out and wait a year to get a good receiver. I I would say be cautious, but also realize the fact that you have a workaround through eARC. I'm confident eARC will eventually work. The other thing too is I don't think Sound United or Yamaha are going to drop the ball. These guys have a legacy of supporting their products and doing the right thing. I just don't think they're going to, within warranty, if the
Mm,
warranty is a year or 2 years, they're going to offer some type of fix. And you know, you may there might be people that say I'm just going to wait for the next round, but who knows what can happen in the next round? You
yep.
know, it's not this stuff is moving so fast. It's like PC level technology. It's just moving as fast as PCs were back in the day, you know?
Yeah. And I think well, the good thing is I think LG has fixed their kind of their problems with the 8K support on the VRR with NVIDIA cards. I think they were pretty quick to address that. But then again, I don't know if anybody in the chat has got an LG TV. If you do, does it support lossless audio through eARC or ARC? Like I don't have anything LG in here, any televisions at all.
Yeah, I don't
So
either.
I'm curious
Now
to hear that.
the other thing, Shane, is people are right now. It's a Yamaha Marantz Denon problem, but Sony and Pioneer we're all planning on releasing products using the same Panasonic chipset. I
Hmm.
think the only company that I know of that's not using Panasonic right now, when I was talking to them the other day, was Emotiva. They went with a different chipset because they said they were having problems with Panasonic. So I think a majority of the mass market produced stuff are using the Panasonic chipset for HDMI 2.1.
Yeah. And you know, I know a lot of people always complain about like certain brands, like niche brands, where you get the Denon, Marantz, the bigger companies coming out with always the newest feature, but these features aren't always like solidified. They're not always fully baked. And I think being a super early adopter or being first out of the gate, like we're seeing right now, this is a big issue. Whereas brands like NAD or Trenoff Storm holding off to see where the industry goes as far as like support and infrastructure for HDMI compliance is concerned. And right now, man, they released all this new products this year. AK support, receivers. I'm supposed to be getting the new 110 tomorrow. I'm not even sure if I want to review it because I don't know who really wants to be interested in seeing that review because of this kind of a
Mm.
bug. And I know at least on my channel, there's a lot of gamers out there, and I don't know if they're going to drop $5,500 on a receiver or not. But for some people, I know dropping $5,500 on a flagship receiver, supposedly 2.1 AK support, you're probably not somebody that upgrades quite often. You're probably thinking this receiver is going to last you for the next 5, 6 years or so.
And it should. I mean, a receiver of that caliber, and I don't remember if the 8500 or the 110 has more than one HDMI 2.1 input, 8K input,
I think they
and
all
that's
have one.
yeah. And you see that to me, I mean, I'm not trying to harp on the manufacturers, but if you can't do it on all your inputs, why even rush it? I mean,
Yeah.
I know it's just a another sticker you could put on the front panel, but this has been I've been in this industry longer than you. I'm considered your elder, I guess, at this point. The same crap happened years ago when we tried to do multi-channel surround sound when we had an SACD or we had DVD audio. At first, when the reason why DVD audio failed, and I don't want to digress too much, is they didn't have a digital output and they didn't have base management all situated. So it was really hard and clunky to hook up a DVD audio player to a receiver or to a preamp and have 6 extra cables and then have vocals coming out of the subwoofer channel because the mixers didn't understand what to do with LFE. So it's like this is a common pattern in the industry to release hardware before there's software support or everything is fleshed out just to be first.
Yeah. Kind of like I don't even know why they jumped to 8K. Like you would have thought that we're still on like 10-bit video Whereas like Dolby Vision, I believe is mastered at 12-bit video, but we're not even like really maxing out Dolby Vision at 12 bits right now, and we've skipped
Correct.
ahead 12-bit panels. We're going to 8K 10-bit. Like
Yeah,
why?
we
Why
still
did we
don't have
just jump over it?
we don't have 12K panels. I mean, I don't even know
Yeah,
when that's going to happen.
yeah. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe stuff like this happening this year, they'll reassess maybe for next year, 2021.
Mm.
Possibly. Hey, how about we double down on really upping the ante for true 4K support? Since really it hasn't really caught fire yet. I still feel like we're still at the beginning of 4K, and the fact that now we're just kind of just jumping straight to 8K is kind of ridiculous to me. Um, but unfortunately, it's just what it is, though. But I've got a comment here that says on the C9E arc works since June, so it sounds like maybe at least the
That's the
workaround for
LG,
the
right?
LG
Yeah.
might be all right.
Well,
But
that's good.
nobody wants to do a workaround like that though. You just want to
Yeah.
plug and play everything into the receiver. The one cable connection. I have to double back for
But
that
I
feed into
always
the
I
receiver.
always thought the intention with for the first gen 8K receivers was you're really going to plug most of your sources, your 8K sources into your 8K panel and then use eARC. I mean, that's what Sound United said in our virtual press event. Like they're like,
Hmm.
"Look, we give you one port that's HK, but ultimately your 8K panel is going to become the
Switcher.
source where
Yeah.
the area where it receives all your 8K sources." I mean,
Yeah.
theoretically that should be fine because,
Yeah.
eARC is supposed to be lossless.
But they knew coming out of the gate there was two big consoles coming out this year,
Mm-hmm.
Xbox and PS5. Why would you have just one input? That didn't make any sense to me.
I think it's just budget. I think they're crunching so much. They're trying to do so much in a $600 receiver that was impossible to do 5 years ago. And every time they add more stuff to that receiver, just remember they're shrinking the power supply.
Yeah.
So I hate when they keep adding these features and they keep putting more fans on the receiver because there's not enough heatsink area or there's not a big enough power supply to actually run channels at their rated power. That's just a pet peeve of mine personally.
Here's a oh, sorry. According to Phil at Sound United, the D&M uses different chips than other brands. That's why they are using one HDMI in. That doesn't seem to be the case, though, right? It's just still Panasonic.
I mean, they're the first to use the Panasonic, so technically that might be true because then Yamaha followed after that.
Yeah.
And Yamaha only has what, two receivers with 8K now, and it's their lower end stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not even firmware; it's firmware updatable. So I don't even think it passes 8K on the box right now, out of the box. I mean, you're going to be getting one in a couple of weeks, so
Yeah.
we'll find out.
But like I said, when I had Phil on the channel, he said that nowhere do they advertise 2.1. They call it 8K.
Hmm.
So technically, it doesn't say 2.1. So I don't know if Yamaha says 2.1 or not.
But
But could that?
how could you have 8K without it being 2.1?
Well, since they're limiting bandwidth to 40 gigs instead of 48, I mean those are basically That's a 2.1 feature that VRR and all the other stuff that it supports,
Yeah.
8K and all that. So could that be like a loophole to be like, oh, sorry guys, but this year, you know, it's not true to 2.1. It just had 8K support. Whereas next year, 100% we got a new fix for you guys. But the early adopters, listen, it really wasn't 2.1.
Just recognize that the receiver product life cycles on all the big companies is about 8 to 10 months.
Yeah,
So these product life cycles are short lived. They're already
yeah,
working on. They're already done with the next generation, and they're probably working on the generation beyond that. That's how fast this stuff moves.
yeah. That's what, dude. That's why I always tell people save your spare change, get yourself something
Save
nice,
your
like
spare change. Get a Trinov.
get a Trino, get an NAD, get a Storm Audio, because you'll have that for the next 6, 7, 8 years, maybe 10 years,
Yeah.
just software updates. That's it. So that's it. I mean, what else we got to touch on that? Anything else?
I don't think there's anything else to cover on that. I mean, people also need to realize if you're not going to use these resolutions, then it's not a problem for you.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah,
something to note.
yeah. Listen, if you're gonna buy this for home theater, I don't think anything's coming for like movies, physical media, streaming that's gonna be at 4K 120 or even 8K 60 anytime in the foreseeable future. Um, I mean, we
Can I
don't
tell you
have
my biggest pet peeve on the SR8015, the
what
Marantz?
was that?
I had an 8012 in my system before that, right? and that's when I found that preamp issue where it clips if the amps are being overdriven. They fixed that. It's freaking awesome. Like everything on the 8015 measures awesome, but I can't plug my Wii into it anymore. That's how far behind I am with gaming consoles.
Oh
It
boy.
won't take component video and convert it up to HDMI. And it's like they downgraded that feature. So now I have no way to play my Wii on my regular TV. I got to put it into like a bedroom plasma or something. So that, I don't know. I like playing Wii bowling. I'm old
That,
school.
that's weird. Wait, so there's no component in on
There's
it?
component in, it just won't take the 480i. It only takes progressive inputs.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah. Or
Oh,
no, it only takes, I'm sorry, it only takes interlaced inputs. So I have a component connector for my Wii, which is 480p. So you have to somehow switch that back to 480i and then have it up convert into the Marantz. It's
is
just
there
weird.
no
Like I never had that problem on the 8012.
is there no just standard composite, red, white, yellow?
There is.
Yeah.
I have everything pre-wired that way, and it's a
Oh,
pain in the ass to change it. I'm gonna in the new house. I will. I'll try to salvage that. But
classic gamer. You are
hey,
old.
I still like the '80s games, man. Kung Fu Master, all that stuff. That's what I grow. Choplifter. I mean, come on. That's me. 8-bit all the way.
All right, so you're saying go ahead, don't be scared. Unless you're a hardcore gamer, don't be scared of buying any of these new receivers, AVRs.
And even if you're a hardcore gamer, maybe don't be scared if you get a TV that's EARC works, like we're seeing now the C9. If that's truly passing multi-channel audio, then this is not an issue for you, because you're gonna have multiple inputs that are 8K on your brand new 8K TV. You plug them into that. You plug one cable from your TV back to the receiver, and you're good to go.
Is I thought eARC was lossless, and I thought ARC
It
was
is.
lossy.
Yes, EARC is lossless.
So I mean,
Potentially, if you have a lossless signal.
yeah,
So if your gaming system does true HD Atmos, then
yeah,
it should pass from your TV to your receiver through EARC.
loss. Yeah, with eARC lossless, but if it's ARC, then
Then
you're
it's
not
just
getting the best
lossy.
audio. Yeah,
I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't even know if the Xbox does True HD or if it's Dolby
yeah,
Digital Plus.
yeah, I don't know either.
That's maybe one of your viewers down here can answer that.
Hmm, that's interesting. Well, I should have a Xbox coming in. I think like next week or 2 weeks or something like that.
Nice. I do have an
So
Xbox One, so I'm not that obsolete. I'm like, what am I? Is that 2 generations behind what's coming out now, or is it
No, you like one, just one.
just one?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not bad.
All right, guys. So that's a question for you guys. What do you guys think about this whole HDMI 2.1 debacle? Is this going to keep you from purchasing a new 8K receiver this year or pre-pro this year? What are your thoughts on that? Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you guys think about this whole situation. All right, what else? Got anything else to touch on? What's up?
No, that's it, bud. I just wanted to give you some grief about all this spare change that you got to get all this pimping gear because you're making me jealous, man. I'm really jealous.
Yeah, right. I got nothing good, man. Did you see my cable video I put up this morning?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you're gonna like it. All the cables I got back there. I just did like a little cable management tour where I showed how I wired all my
Oh,
cables and
right.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you
everybody.
charge your battery? Did you charge your batteries?
There is one of them in there.
Oh, okay.
There is one in there. Somebody was like 529 Gene Delasala.
Nice.
It's like every cable is like Audio Quest. The cool thing though about the Trino is it's got a DB25 connector. So if I had that amp, I could get rid of like all 16 XLRs and just go with the DB25.
Now, I don't want to get off topic, but do they have digital outputs to plug into, like, do they have Dante or do they have AES digital
Yeah, I believe they
outputs?
have an AES. I do believe that. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's also through the. Well, I saw it says AES on the back through the DB connector as well.
Oh, okay.
So I know your Strum has it. I know your
Yeah,
Storm has
man.
it. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it does the digital crossovers and all that.
We got to get you into active speakers next. That's the next frontier with FIR filter optimization. It's a game changer, really is.
I I see there's FIR filters on. Is it in the Storm Audio as well? FIR
No,
filters?
they
No.
don't have FIR. There's a lot of calculations to do that, and I don't know if they have the MIPS to do it. They might, but I'm actually talking to them to see if they can add that. Otherwise, I'm going to be using the Marani DSP, which is like a pro audio DSP. It's one of the most advanced ones on the market, and it does like 4,000 taps, so it's very precise. Um, yeah, we'll see. I mean, if this thing is upgradable and they can add that in the future, I could get rid of one box, but to digitally connect and to bypass your crossovers and do all your DSP management and stuff is it's incredible. It really is.
Those big old RBHs you got, those are digital speakers?
Yeah. Well, not. I mean, I hate to say digital, but they're active. They have no crossovers in them, so the amplifier directly connects to the drivers, and all the crossover and DSP is done in the Marani, and they're very high steep crossovers. So it's incredible the integration you can get, and it basically the speaker sounds. It sounds like the best of an ESL. You know how an ESL kind of projects into your head,
Yeah.
but it's got the dynamic range of dynamic drivers. So it's got the best of both worlds.
Hmm.
It sounds ESL like, but then it has the dynamics of a dynamic driver because a lot of ESLs that don't have a lot of dynamic range.
Interesting. Yeah, I said that on. We reviewed the 803, the B&Ws against the Martin Logans, and that's the first thing we said. It sounded like you got headphones on, like just way different than the Bowers and Wilkins.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
It's if you get it dialed in right, it's pretty incredible.
huh? You know what you would probably need? You would probably need the Trade-off since it does have FIR filters built into that.
Does it really?
Yes, it does.
I'm going to be talking to them. I got to figure that out.
Yes, it does.
I know they're they're incredible processors. I know they're expensive, but the stuff they do, and the Trinov actually can remap all your speakers. So
Yep.
if you set up a surround system in a certain configuration, you want to flip the room around, you can actually do that with that. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
There's a. I was using the. It has a thing called 3D mapping. I was checking out the Oral 3D where they
Right.
support like a center height channel, and with the 3D mapping, it'll take your top left and right speakers and it will phantom image the center speaker where it should be. Center height. I turn it on, off and on. Works, man. It's
So
crazy.
it's a virtualized center height.
Yeah. So
Nice.
it can create phantom like images amongst different speakers if they're supposed to be speaker there.
Does it work in more than one position, like one seated position, or does it only work at where you calibrated the primary seat?
I think if you have more speakers, if it's supposed to have more speakers, if you have more physical speakers and maybe something's offset and they're supposed to be like, if you're, let's say your center's here, left is here, then
Mm,
right is maybe like an extra 5 feet away, then it will set the delay so it pushes the right speaker in further, so it'll mix with the center and the right till it sounds like your speaker's coming from where it is. I don't know how well that works off center. I've never tried that. Maybe I should try that later tomorrow.
yeah,
But that's what the mapping does though. That was pretty cool.
that is cool.
Yeah. I don't think the storm does that though, unfortunately.
No,
Yeah.
no, but
So
the base management on the Storm is pimp, man. Wait till you see when I explore this thing.
yeah, Trino does that too.
Oh man, hey, we should do a listening test on YouTube, man. You should set up a mic on your place. I'll set up a mic on my place, and we'll do
Yeah.
A/B for everybody to listen on YouTube because you know I love YouTube listening tests.
Do you know if people would tune in for that though?
Oh, they would.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
You
they
can
would.
have would be like Trino versus Storm. Let's see what
But you're
sounds
gonna
better.
knowing you would have like the best freaking mics. You would have binaural microphones set up all over the room, and I'm using like these crappy mics that I have, and you're gonna win that. So I got to go and get a better mic if I'm gonna go and do that.
That'd be interesting though. Have everybody like tune in for like an hour. They'd be like, "Yeah, this definitely sounds better. I can hear the height channel in the upper left corner rear speaker."
Right.
What else we got here? Anything else? All the players out there, just streaming apps and games. Uh, I have a Denon 4700H. Well, PS5 has. I don't think anybody. I don't think they know what the PS5 because I think
Yeah,
the
they never
PlayStation.
reported on that. Yep.
Yeah, I think it uses a different like 2.1 implementation. So, and I don't think anybody's got it in their hands. That is like an audio guy and a video game person at the same time. So, I think all will be told next week, November 6th or something like that. I think.
Oh, when it releases.
Yeah, it's either the 6th or the 10th. Something I don't know. I know we got
Hmm.
pre-orders in, so we'll have it. And that's it, man. Um. Oh, I want to ask you. Yeah, this is for when I was watching your REW video a while back, and I know I got some questions about this as well, which I never did video on. After you calibrate your subwoofers using a Room EQ Wizard, and it gives you all your curves and everything like that, I don't think you touched on upon the part where it says like export filters, and it gives you the breakdowns of like Q and all that stuff like that. You know what I'm talking about?
I never did. I never relied on REW to do the filters for me. I always calculated myself. That's probably something I should do in another video. I've actually never tried it in REW. I have my HP calculator, man. I could do it really quick.
What in the
So,
world? How would you know? How would you know what to put 30 hertz at, or if there's a dip at 30 hertz and you want to flatten it
I
out?
mean, I look at my response curves and I look at where the bump or the bump is, and I see that's FC. You divide FC by the bandwidth, and that's your Q.
Okay, well, I know what you're talking about there.
But it's smarter. It's smarter to automate that, and that's
Yeah,
something. Yeah, I need to definitely do that, especially because now I'm going to have DRAC on
yeah.
on the Storm Audio. So I want to see how good it can get, because I've heard that the DRAC based management module gets you pretty close, like 90% as good as you can get it manually. And if it saves me 3 hours or 2 hours, I'll just hit the instant play button, let it do its thing, and then maybe make a couple of tweaks after and be done with it. That'd be awesome.
Here's the thing with all the room corrections. I've noticed, correct me if I'm wrong on it, but after you take the measurements, it'll show you what your room sounds like. So it'll show you all the graphs, and then it'll apply its curve to it, which you can change if you want to. But after you apply the curve, you don't really know if it actually works because it doesn't give you the actual after
No,
measurement.
it's there for ideal.
Yeah,
I don't know of any room correction system that actually measures the after and gives you an
yeah,
actual realistic representation. I think Anthem Arc, if I remember correctly, and I wrote about this when I did the STR review, I think it does a very smoothed response. I think it was like 1/3 octave. It's not very high resolution. So I would not go by the output results of what any room correction system tells you. That's why you really should measure it on your own.
yeah. Because I think we were talking about the other day, and I was like, I'm pretty sure there's no room correction that remeasures after the fact.
And
It's
the
just
biggest joke is Odyssey. Odyssey is like,
yeah,
yeah, right. Okay, sure you did that to my system.
it was like
Measure
super
nothing.
flat.
Yeah, it's like, give me a break. Yeah.
I
No,
did, yeah,
it really pays to do REW and focus on 300 hertz and below when you're doing any type of correction, because if you have good speakers, like I know you have good speakers because you're freaking spare change, you could be making your speakers sound worse
yeah.
using full range room correction.
I've noticed on there's certain times I've taken measurements and I lose the sparkly high sometimes.
Or you kill your imaging. It's like it kind of collapses your soundstage, and if maybe it focuses it more in the center. But like when I do Odyssey, the best way to check room correction is to check it for 2 channel, because when you have 5 or 7 or 10 speakers going, it's really hard to discern at that point. You're better off listening to the 2 channels to see what before and after room correction did. And if you don't like the after, if it sounds unnatural or
Mm,
it collapses your soundstage, don't use it. Limit the correction. Like Anthem, I limited to 500 hertz. I went to 5 kilohertz, which was its default. I did not like it. I got it down. I was going to get it down to 300, but I actually had benefits up to about 500, and I stopped there and I did the correction, and it was beneficial.
yeah, like with these B&W speakers, like I feel like naturally they're not as crispy on the highs, and I feel with room correction it takes that away. And then other
Hmm.
speakers I've reviewed helps it out totally. And then but with these particular ones I always have to limit it.
Bowers and Wilkins is an interesting cat because they have some measurement anomalies that I think are designed in purposely for their speaker, and their off-axis response don't match their on-axis, so you can't EQ to fix that because it'll just mess it up.
Hmm.
And if you look at we did a video comparing 5 towers, and we talked about was it the 703 or the 603? I think it was a seven. Yeah, I think it was a 703. And you can see our measurements on our website. I don't want to keep plugging my website on your channel, but they don't measure as linear as like a Revel or a Paradigm. If you go to our
Yeah.
floor standing speaker reviews, yeah, you'll see it there.
Yeah, the Trinov guy was like he knew exactly what speakers I have. He's like, "Oh, he's like, is that a Bowers?" I was like, "Yeah, how'd you know?" He goes, "This is a little two."
Yeah,
He's like, "This is a 2K dip right there." He goes,
yeah,
all the Bowers have it. Bowers have it."
yep,
I was
exactly. He's
like,
right.
"Damn."
He's right.
I was like, "Okay, I guess you know what you're talking about just by looking at the measurements."
What do you have? You
Um,
have the what do you have in your theater room? You had that company. What was that? With the
oh,
big wave guide on the tweeter. I forgot
yeah,
the name of it.
Rendell. They want to
Rendell.
talk. They
Rendell.
want
Yeah.
to. They want to send you guys speakers for measurements. They asked
Yeah. I
me.
mean, they look
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. They asked me to ask you. I forgot to tell you about that. Now that you brought it
Yeah.
up.
Set it up. Send me an email.
Yeah,
Talk to them.
yeah. They're like, I think they wanted to get to me to get to you. Actually, to be fair, they're like, oh, we know you work for Gene. I was like, yeah. He's like, do you think he wants to measure some speakers? I was like, I'm pretty sure he would. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll shoot him a text later. But they definitely want to get some stuff out. They're making a push, man. They started with me. Then I think like Villaman got them, and
Hmm.
I think Youthman is supposed to get these subwoofers I have, and then I guess they want to send you out some speakers too. They got a bunch of new
Nice.
stuff coming out. Awesome stuff. Awesome build quality, like way better than a lot of the stuff that's Best Buy and stuff right now.
Where are they based out of?
Norway.
Oh
So
wow.
designed
Okay.
in Norway, assembled in China. So
Yeah. Of
some
course.
people get upset about that, but what you gonna do?
Yeah.
But all right, man. Anything else?
All right.
Anything else you want to plug?
Well, I mean, we are doing something cool, as you know, the Audioholics Smart House.
Yeah.
I'm about a month away from finishing the house. I haven't sold my existing house, which is scaring the shit out of me. I'm losing whatever hair I have left on the top of my head as a result. But it's really cool. We're going to be covering topics nobody's ever covered on YouTube before, including lighting control, acoustics. We have a ton of sponsors for this project. I'm getting the Revel F328BEs. I'm putting those in my music room. I don't know if you ever had any Revel speakers before, but they're pretty incredible.
I've been hearing.
Um, yeah, we're doing the Polk L800s in our instrument room where I'm having my drums and my keyboards and stuff. And of course, the RBH system in the theater room. And then we're doing Paradigm Persona um, in the family room. And then I'm doing a Klipsch Heritage custom sound bar in my bedroom with two in-wall JL Audio in ceiling JL Audio 8-inch subs, two in-wall JL 13s in my family room. So it's going to be cool. Like you're going to walk into the master bedroom and you're going to just basically see a 65-inch TV with a sound bar that's custom fit for the TV, so it looks like one unit. And you don't see any subs, you don't see any speakers. Everything's in the walls or in the ceilings. And then we're going to have full automation in the house. We're going to have motorized blinds. We're going to have lighting control, temperature control. Everything's going to be able to be monitored remotely. We're going to have cameras all around the house. We're going to have in-ground landscape speakers from Klipsch, Sonance. We're going to have pretty much speakers in every room in the house. I think I counted out like maybe about 50 or 60 in-ceiling speakers in the whole house.
Wow.
And we put 3 miles of wire. I mean, I have a company called HD 2020 in Tampa. They're incredible. The wiring job they did. Let me tell you something. If you guys are building a new home, it pays to get a good integrator, someone that really understands how to wire a house. And these guys did stuff that I never would have thought of. I could have never in a million years done anywhere remotely as good of a job as they did, because I did this house and there's things in this house I wish I would have done differently. It's not to the level of what I'm doing in the new house. So it really pays to get an integrator that knows what they're doing, that has a reputation and understands your needs for the future. So, like for example, I'm not running a lot of HDMI in the house. I'm running everything over Cat 6. So I'm running an AV Pro Edge HD Base T solution. So I'm going to have every room in the house is going to have distributed audio and video. I'm going to get that what is it, Zappity?
Yeah.
Zippity?
Yeah.
How do you
Yeah.
say it? Zappity?
Yeah. It's beady. Yeah.
Yeah, so they contacted me. They want to put a media server in the house, and I know I found out about them because of you. So
They're getting around now. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
They're
So I
getting
mean, it's
around.
we're covering territory that's never been covered. We covered from the building from the beginning, and we're going to go all the way to the end. And we've got about 15 videos produced already, maybe 20 videos produced already, and we haven't even moved into the place. So if you guys want to see it, there's a playlist on our channel called Audioholics Smart House, and you can see all the videos there.
I can almost guarantee you left one room out of the build.
Did I?
Did you build a office slash YouTube studio room?
That's going to be my upstairs. That's my office. Yeah. So what's happening now in my existing house is I'm upstairs in this room. This is like This is a closet I turned into an office, and my theater room's to the left of it, and my wife is downstairs. So one of the big reasons why we're moving is because we're always separated. I mean, I barely see her during the day. I'm up here working, she's down there. It's really lonely, and I feel like I'm isolated in here. So I decided that we're going to just do one combined office, and we're going to really trick it out with good lighting, and that's where we're going to do most of our videos. And between there and the theater room, we're going to be shooting videos. So yeah, we're gonna. I know the video quality on Audioholics is not up to your standard, but we're going to be working on that, and lighting is going to be a big part of the upgrade, and better mics, better video, all that stuff.
Is the theater going to be? It's not going to be like an open to another room, is it? Or there's going to be an actual like a rectangular.
No, actually, I did a massive sound isolation. I did staggered stud walls. The side walls are all concrete, and I did 2x4s, and I shoved mineral fiber. I've got MLV barriers. I've got double doors coming in that are solid core with 8-inch gap.
Hmm.
So we're going to have a good STC rating of about 55. And
Wow.
it's going to be much better sound isolated. Like my current theater room, because of the way they ran the HVAC, anytime I play music, it's like having an intercom system to my daughter's bedroom. She hears everything, and it's going all through the HVAC. So I
Hmm.
ran all my HVAC separately for the theater room. That way, that none of that sound leaks over. I did a lot of planning on this. I had a local company called Commercial Acoustics help me out. Um, it's not to the level that I wanted to build a room inside a room, but you're talking about $100,000 job, and I didn't have the budget to do that. So I did what the builder would allow me, because they're a production builder. And then I did some, I had this local company that they work with to help me do further sound isolation. And the staggered stud wall is a big thing. I have a video about it, and I don't think it's public yet, but I'll be dropping it probably in the next week or two to teach people when they're building new construction. Don't just do standard studded walls. Do a staggered studded wall. It makes a huge difference in sound isolation.
Hmm. You know what? I also seen. I've been also looking for when I move out here. Fabric walls. Have you seen that?
Fabric covered walls.
Yeah, there's like insulation that lays
Hmm.
kind of on top of the wall, and there's a track that goes all the way around the perimeter. You can do different designs and all that, and the insulation goes over the wall, and the fabric goes over that wall as well. So it's like absorption as well. You can get diffusion as well, and it
Yeah, I mean that's
just
what
gets
I
covered the walls.
have. I have fabric walls in my existing theater room, or Alex did it. But everybody I talk to, installers, are saying that that's like kind of old fashioned. That nobody does fabric covered walls anymore in
Right?
theater.
I've
I
seen
think it
some.
looks cool.
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
it
it's
looks cool. But
awesome.
the thing you got to be careful about, Shane, is you don't want to over treat your room with too much absorption. See, if you start making your entire wall absorptive, then you're going to kill any type of liveliness in the room, and it's just not going to sound good. It's going to be like being in an anechoic chamber. So you got to be careful.
Yeah.
If you're going to wrap your walls, do a mixture of diffusion and absorption, and also realize when you put fabric over absorption, it becomes somewhat reflective too. So it's not fully absorptive.
Hmm. Yeah, just a thought. I'd
We,
been
we
looking
should
at it.
get Matt. We should get Matt on one of your videos, and he can talk acoustics all day long. That guy is just,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah. My brain hurts when I hear him talking.
All right, so guys, definitely check out the smart home build over on Audioholics YouTube channel. I don't know if you have any like uh, editorials on the website about it, do you?
I actually don't.
Okay. Oh,
That
okay.
that's really strange that you say that. And I'm just thinking to myself, I've never written an article on. It's like audioholics.com and our YouTube channel are completely separate entities now. I
Hmm.
never foresaw that happening. Let me give you the link, if you don't mind, to our to the playlist for our smart home. How do I do that here?
Hey, just drop it in
Uh,
the chat here.
I don't know where to do that. I can't. For some reason I can't comment in your chat. Like I see the comments, but I don't see how I can put my
Oh,
own comment.
I think you'd have to be like actually on the YouTube
Okay,
YouTube
so
video.
let me give it to you in private chat, and then you could just paste it.
Yeah.
So that should be the link.
7706. Oh, where are we at here? Private chat. Yeah.
And
Copy.
ultimately, Shane, when this is all done, I want to have you come out to Florida and cover this project on your
Jeez.
channel.
Hold on a second. Yeah. Aren't you guys like a
Hopefully.
hotbed for coronavirus though? In Florida?
Yeah, totally. Oh God.
But yeah, guys, definitely check out the link provided down below. It's a playlist of the whole smartphone smart
Smart home.
smart home build over on Audioholics, Gene's new abode. So definitely check that out. I'm sure it's going to be useful for some of you guys setting up your future home theaters. So anything else you got, Gene?
Actually, I think I gave you a link to just one video. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. Let me see if this is different. I wish I could make the URL. Yeah, use this link. I think,
Let's see.
or maybe
Yeah,
it's the same thing. Maybe it's the same thing.
how do you like those SVS speakers? Have you checked them out?
Which ones?
I see you got a bookshelf speaker review.
Oh, the ultras. Yeah, I did
Yeah.
like the ultras. I wasn't like as a big a fan as the towers. I liked for some reason I like the bookshelf speaker better when I heard them.
All
Yeah,
right,
those are
we
pretty
just
good.
dropped the link in the comment section if you guys want to check that out. Yeah, there's one speakers I haven't checked out yet is the SVSs.
Get the prime pinnacles in.
Oh, those are like the mid-level ones, I think, or the entry level.
I honestly no. I think that's actually their flagship. Even though they have the ultra tower, I think they're kind of promoting the prime pinnacle now as their main speaker.
Hmm.
Doesn't have,
Gotcha.
it has all the speakers, all the drivers on the front baffle, no side woofers.
Yeah. Maybe I'll check it out. Let's see. I gotta see how much it costs first. If it's under $1,000, I can't check it out. It's not too
Yeah,
much money.
because you're not spare change, you're excessive change. We got to
Well,
get you the PM8s, the RBH PM8s, because James Larson just finished. So
I'm
hopefully we
waiting for
can
that
get some
subwoofer,
videos.
man. I don't know what's
Oh,
going on with
that's
that
right,
guy
the
over there.
1212. Yeah,
Hold
let
on.
me email them for you now. They're a
No,
little slow on the uptake.
listen, guys. I'm supposed to get one of these in
So
here.
so some of those videos aren't published yet, so you get to see those videos before everybody else.
Wait, no, that's not the one. This is a
No,
smaller. I want that double one.
yeah, that's old. I don't even know how you found that. Go
Products.
to subwoofers.
Powered studio mode. What the hell? Am I missing it?
You got to go to this. Yeah, that's stupid. You
Oh,
got to go to
dude.
see products. They got to fix that.
Look at that right there. This is it, guys. Be on the lookout for this. Hopefully, if these guys ever come through, I don't
So
think they're like me.
we've reviewed the SV1212 PR and it exceeded our extreme bassaholic rating. That's one of the best subwoofers we've ever reviewed. That
Hmm.
12-inch driver is really special sauce. So just realize like my SVTRS has
Mm-hmm.
four of those. So the 1212P is a much cheaper sub and it
Yeah.
has almost the output of the 1212 PR. And that's the one you should check out because I think it's like $3,000 or $2,500 or something
Yeah.
like
So
that.
that 3 right now. 30, 40. Who am I getting two of these guys in here? That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
that should rock. We
My
haven't even checked them out yet, so you're going to get them first.
how long have these been out for?
A couple of months.
Oh, so brand new, brand new.
That's not the right one. Wait a minute. Go back. That's not the one I was thinking about. Go down.
That's it.
They're missing a sub. They have one that has a port on the front with two 12s and it has two ports. Maybe it's the S series.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, that's the
12P?
one I want you. The S1212P. That's the one I want you to check out because that one's like $2,000 or something.
Oh, that's too. Where is the price? 25.
Get it with the 1,000 watts amplifier.
Yeah, it looks cool too. It definitely looks cool. I definitely want to check that out. I told you my PB16 amplifier died last week.
Did it?
Yeah.
We could do a video just on the reliability of subwoofer amps because that is the least reliable product in the industry, in my
Oh, what
opinion.
SVS?
No, not just SVS, just subwoofer amps
Oh,
in general because they try to hit a certain price point and they try to give you a lot of power.
yeah.
And the SMPS power supplies aren't always very robust. And I don't know if it has something to do with vibration from the drivers or if it's just the parts tolerances aren't good. But and it's not just SVS, I've had JL audio subs fail 3 times. I had to change an amp in one of my subs.
Hmm.
Validine, I've changed an amp 4 times on my DD15 pluses. RBH, I've had a couple of amps fail on subwoofers before. So, in my current setup now, I'm putting the subwoofer amplifiers outside of the subwoofers and I'm getting passive subs. And I mean, yeah, that is a problem. Subwoofer amp, when they're built into the subwoofer, they have reliability issues.
I've had I've had an Atlantic Technology sub for like maybe like 16 years, and
Hmm.
it's been on for like I want to say like 16 years, except if I was like moving to a different place or something like that. But I've always kept it on all the time, and that thing still kicks today. I gave it to one of my buddies. He still uses it. It's still
Because it
rocking.
has an old linear Class AB amp with a linear
Yeah,
power supply. Yeah.
yeah, that thing just rocks, man.
And it probably
15
that amp
inch.
wasn't made. That probably that amp wasn't made in China. It could have been made in Japan or something. Like just
Yeah,
different. Yeah,
sick sub, dude. Yo, can we get those in Atlantic
Atlantic
Technology?
Tech.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, dude, yeah, I want to check some. I want to check out the
You
whole
want those
sub.
big towers? Those big MTM towers? They're like the 6500, I think. Let me look. They're huge,
Let's see.
and I
Nobody
bet you they
talk.
kick.
Nobody talks about them.
I know they're actually a really good company. They've been in the business a long time, custom integration kind of stuff. The 8600, that's the one. I mean, they're huge, dude.
Oh yeah. Oh,
They're 5700 bucks a pair.
I've had two of their systems, the 350 THX and the 450 THX back in the day. Oh, and the
Let's
250.
see. Let's see. These are they're not that bad. They only weigh 193 pounds each.
Yeah. Dude,
You
look at
can
that.
handle that, man. You can handle. We got to get you to the gym, so you got to work out with the equipment.
Look at that center channel. That's sick.
Yeah, you should definitely. If you want, I could set you up a review. You could do an unboxing on your channel and do the video review on my channel. How about that?
Yeah, we do that. Yeah, get that. Yeah, get these in. 8600. Learn more.
Look at that center channel, man.
I
See
know.
what they did? They did an
Sick.
MTM and they did it vertically oriented. That's awesome. And then they put the two woofers on each side, and it's
You know,
only 2,300 bucks. That looks really killer.
yeah, I talked to the guy. What was his name? Who came up? Who's the founder of Atlantic Technology?
Peter
He's over there.
Triben.
Yeah, he's over in Outlaw now.
Yeah, he's not involved in AT anymore. He's just outlaw. Yeah.
He told me that he invented this design right there, where he
Yeah.
flipped that design. That was his thing back in the
It,
THX
it,
days.
it's possible. Yeah. I mean, he's been around a long time. Peter's a good
Hmm.
guy.
Yeah, so he was like, "Yeah, I
Let's see
invented
what
that
this.
Atlantic
What's
Technology."
in
Because I
this
told him
thing?
I still had that subwoofer. He's like, "Yeah," he's like, "He invented that back then." I was like, "Wow, I didn't know you were that old." But yeah, yeah, if we can get that in, man. Where's the surround speakers though?
Let's see their sub. They have a 12-inch. Yeah, let me check with my contacts. You're pretty quick at these reviews, man. I don't know how you do it. Really don't.
Well, I've devised the formula of how to do it now, so it's like
Yeah.
goes pretty quick. Although the stuff that I like to keep, I usually put off for a long while. Like I should have that Trinell review done like months ago, but there's like so much stuff in it. It's tough to kind of condense into like 12 minutes.
Right.
Yeah,
All
man, get
right.
those
So I
in.
owe you. You also want to do Focal. I gotta get back with them on
Oh
that.
yeah. Hold
Focal
on. Let me show these guys these speakers. I want to do this whole
RVH
system.
and Atlantic Tech.
And that's Moon Audio. We don't want to go to Moon Audio. These things are so nice.
I
I
told you I'm
want.
getting Canta N2s for the Audioholics Smart House, right?
Hold on,
Those are pretty sick. They're like 10 grand a pair.
guys. Hopefully we can pull this out. Get a whole home theater based on the Sopras. That's a sexy speaker right there.
Yeah, they're
Damn.
beautiful. We got some of their in-ceiling speakers going in our house too. We got them going
Mm.
in multiple rooms. The 300 series and the 100 series.
Listen. If I had a home theater with these in my my theater, I think the douchey level just goes up exponentially.
Have you ever heard any of the Cantas? Have you ever heard them at a trade show or anything?
I've seen them at a trade show, like really nice. I saw like the powder blue ones they had.
Yeah.
Sweet, yeah, sweet looking speakers. They got the bigger versions. But well, I've seen those too. Like those are sick.
I've got their second best headphones they just sent me for the Audioholics house too. I have the Stellia, whatever,
Yeah.
and the Clear. So the Clear open back and the Stella or Stellia, however you say that, or closed
Oh
back.
dear. What are those retail like $700?
No, the
More?
Stellia are like 3 grand.
What?
Yeah, and I got their preamp too. I have their Archie preamp. I don't even remember what it's called. Yeah, check out for home.
Ooh, yeah, okay.
Stellia. How do you say that?
Stellia?
Stellia.
Stellia, yeah.
Yeah,
What is that?
that's the color I have.
Gold. So gaudy, dude.
I I should have wore those today. I could have outclassed you on your channel.
I got some cheap little Sonys.
These are Hi-Fi, man, I think. No, these are Audez.
Oh, they
Yeah,
hit me up. Yeah.
I have the Archie. See the Archie, the preamp?
Okay. Yeah.
It actually has DSP modes that tune to the whatever headphone you're using, which is pretty cool.
Were they French or Italian?
They're French.
They're French. All the good stuff comes from France.
Oh, you saying that because of Trinov?
Well, I mean, Storm Audio too.
Oh, okay.
Storm's
Are
French
they
too.
French? Storm Audio is
Yeah.
French too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He emailed me when he emailed me. He was like, "Yeah, I see you. You have our competitor in there." I was like, "What you mean?" He goes, "Trinov. They're our competitor in France." I was like, "Oh." I was like, "Yeah." And then these guys too, man. Focal, man, those are. I want, yeah, definitely see if you can get the N1 home theater system
Okay.
because that's a big video right there. That's gonna be a first.
I will BCC you on an email now so you know that I sent it.
And some Atlantic Tech speakers.
You got to do those towers? You got to commit to doing a tower? Because you said you don't want to be a douche doing 2-channel reviews. Now you're doing 2-channel. So,
Oh, no, I want the Atlantic Tech home theater, and I want the Focal home theater.
wait, what's the Atlantic Tech home theater?
It was that whole 8300 series.
Oh, not the big towers.
I think they're part. You know what I would like to do? Yeah, I got this whole thing about doing like bookshelves everywhere, like rather than doing towers and bookshelves in
Yeah,
the
they're
back.
easier to move around for sure.
That too, and I feel that just having matching speakers just sounds better for home theater.
Well, you're using subs, so you don't necessarily need
Yeah.
a tower, you know? And you're in kind of a small space. You don't need giant speakers.
Dude, I just cleared out my office. I got room. I can walk in my office right now. Like I've got rid of so much stuff.
Uh,
So if we can not do towers, if we could do Atlantic Tech bookshelves everywhere, that'd be ideal.
I don't, I'm trying to see if they have a bookshelf.
You know, they got
It
to have a bookshelf.
says they have a sound bar, in ceiling, in wall. They don't have a bookshelf, man.
Home speakers.
They have
Home
an
speaker.
LCR3, which looks like it's an old design. They have a
Yeah.
4400. It's weird. They have all their speakers are located in their floor standing folder.
Oh, we'll figure it out here. Oh, here we go. 60. Well, they got a 6200. I think that's a bookshelf with a removable pedestal. I think that's how these guys work. Or even like the 4400, 4400 LR. Nah, man,
Oh yeah,
get the good stuff. The
that
6200.
looks. That's the old stuff. I really think you should get the 8600, man.
The gigant. Do they have surround speakers? Ah, man, we'll check it out. I'll definitely look at it. But yeah, I definitely want to get back to some Atlantic Tech. Those are my favorite speakers.
Yeah, they're
Definitely
good
some of my
stuff. Yep.
All right, man. So we're at 1 hour here. So, guys, again, check out his smart home playlist. Be on the lookout for hopefully some Focal home theater reviews and Atlantic technology reviews. We're
Mhm.
gonna try to get you some speaker reviews that nobody else has done. And listen, that's what I'm about over here. I can't just be covering SVS all the time, okay? So,
Right. Come
so,
on, it's oversaturated. It's crazy.
so definitely go check out Gene's channel. Subscribe there, like, share, and subscribe. Also, we have a giveaway on the channel for an LG SN11RG soundbar, flagship soundbar, flagship status. It's like $1,800. That is on my channel and also Gene's channel. Comment on both videos. Obviously, be subscribed, like, share the video. And towards the end of the year, then I shall announce a winner for that particular soundbar. And I think we're giving away some speakers as well. I put up a post on my community tab for that. So check out my community tab for some LG Bluetooth speakers. Prices are 18 for like this, 1800 for the soundbar. I think 200 for the small Bluetooth speaker and like 300 for the bigger Bluetooth speaker. And the review for that, for those speakers, are also on Audioholics as well. So check out that video at Audioholics. And guys, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. You can listen to the audio portion of this when I put it up on Apple, iTunes, podcast, Spotify, Tidal, all that good stuff. Wherever you can find your favorite podcasting service, you can find this episode. So thanks again, Gene.
Yeah, no problem. It's good being here, Shane. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man.